Hi, this is Alan from Alpus Group, and I'm going to talk to you today about key project success factor number 11, quality assurance and control. This is video 12 in a series of 20 of free training about the 20 key factors for project success. And Alpus recommends that the following 20 key factors are addressed to ensure project success. These are the 20 key factors. We've already been through clear and concise project brief. Secondly, risk assessment and contingency. Third, funding. Fourthly, site available and accessible to the contractor. Fifthly, statutory permissions are in place. That's usually planning permission and building control. Sixthly, agreements for special protection measures and party wall agreements. 7, protection of utilities. 8, enabling or advanced works. 9, the appropriate contracting strategy. 10, designs fully coordinated, available and buildable. And 11, quality assurance and control measures. So key factor 1, the clear and concise project brief. We already discussed this, the scope of works, the fundamental design parameters and employers or owners requirements, such as the budget cost, the program timescale, the specific operational performance requirements and quality requirements. This should reflect the vision of the sponsor of the project or program. And then we discussed risk assessment and contingency, and we carry this out at a very early stage to identify the key risks for any project and also to evaluate these in terms of contingency for time and also for money. So there's contingency in the budget, monetary and also time as well, because some risks incur time penalties, and we ensure that at a very earliest stage this is included in our overall assessment. Key factor 3 is the funding, and we include the detailed breakdown of costs, acquisition costs, including all fees, sales duty, stamp duty, land tax, VAT, planning consultants costs, architectural feasibility study, other design consultants costs for the project, construction costs, main contractor and or specialist contractors, and then the contingency that we already discussed in the last slide. Key factor number 4, the site must be available and accessible. So you need to make sure that you've actually procured the land to enable your development to take place, and that there aren't any issues that might prevent the contractor on your side completing the works that he's contracted to do. You can agree a staged allocation of the site to the contractor, but it must form part of the contract, must be pre-agreed about what the implications are. Statutory permissions, planning permission and building control. Now, normally you have to have planning permission before you can start work on site with a particular building. It's not recommended to take a risk at all with this because the penalties can be quite onerous if you're seen to be developing in contradiction or in absence of planning permission. Building control, you can overlap with the construction process, but you must have building control approval for the drawings you're using for the particular stage. While you're doing foundation works, you must have building control approved drawings. Special protection measures, you may need party wall award or agreement with your neighbour if there are neighbours who require protection or whose properties are impacted by your works. So a party wall agreement may be needed, and there may need to be special protection measures for on-site services. Some of these may need to be diverted, but in any case you mustn't damage services that exist, so you must have a fully coordinated site plan with all the services marked on it. And if you're adjacent to railway or tube lines, then you need to ensure that you carry out whatever special protection measures are needed, whether this temporary or permanent, before you proceed with the work. Agreements with neighbours, they may be party wall awards, they may include access arrangements, They may be permanent arrangements with such things as gas mains that may need to be diverted, so you need to have an agreement with the relevant utility company for any changes to their services which they need to agree to. In the case of overhead electrical lines, relocation of a pylon can take up to 2 years to arrange, so some of these things have quite long lead-in times. Advanced or enabling works can be carried out while you're completing your design and procurement for the main contract. So you might have demolition works that can be let as a preliminary works or advanced works package. Similarly, other site clearance works or services diversions can be let as advanced or enabling works packages. Choose the appropriate contracting strategy. There are normally 3 approaches. There's the traditional procurement strategy, which involves the client appointing consultants to carry out his designs. The consultants coordinate amongst themselves to produce fully detailed designs for implementation by a main contractor who's the subject of a tender process, and the contractor doesn't usually have design responsibility. He has implementation responsibility, with the exception of shop drawings which need to be submitted for detailed approvals. Design and build is another approach where the client only produces a preliminary design which is used as the basis for tender, and the main contractor is responsible for the detailed design of the works and also the implementation of the works. And thirdly, there's a construction management approach where there isn't a main contractor, but a construction manager manages the design works packages and also the implementation works packages, and coordinates the interfaces between the two. The construction manager manages these works, and the contracts are actually arranged between the client and the respective specialists, whether they're designers or contractors. Complete, fully coordinated and buildable design. So in these 3 different procurement scenarios, we've got 3 different design approaches. The client is responsible in the first traditional procurement strategy, so the client must ensure that his consultants fully coordinate and produce a coordinated, detailed and buildable design for the contractor to implement. In the second approach, this is not so much of a problem for the client, because the design and build contractor is responsible for the fully coordinated and buildable design. It's included within his contract. And thirdly, under the construction management approach, this is the construction manager's responsibility to manage, but essentially the design specialists produce the designs which the construction manager reviews, and then the specialist works contractors implement. Key factor 10, quality assurance and control measures. Different with the traditional procurement strategy and under the design and build. Essentially, the client needs to specify the quality assurance and quality control measures that are required in his design specifications, and in the implementation of the works. They would form part of the tender that the main contractor had submitted a bid for. In the design and build approach, the client would spell out the required QA and QC measures, but the main contractor is responsible for implementation of quality assurance and quality control on the detailed design and the implementation of the works. And in the third approach, the construction manager would specify the quality assurance, quality control measures to be carried out by the design package contractors and the construction package contractors. So 3 different approaches, but you as the client need to ensure that you get good quality assurance and control on the whole of your designs and construction to ensure you have a satisfactory project at the end of the day. If you want to talk to us about these issues or anything else, just book a call with me. That's at calendly.com/AlanJE, or you can telephone me on 07539141257 or on landline 0333 you can drop me an email at alan@alpusgroup.com. So see you in the next video. Cheers.